It's Take After Take first solo edition of this podcast. 7 people listen to each and every week. Producer Pat not with us. I'm actually doing this on a Thursday night, so you will have this at your disposal listening right now on a Friday morning. Appreciate everyone, you 7, that are listening to this week's edition of the podcast. We got a really great conversation with Huntsville native, former Grissom High Tiger standout, Kentucky Wildcats linebacker standout, and now the current head coach of the Green Wave of Tulane, Jon Sumrall. I had an opportunity to chop it up with Coach Sumrall for 14, 15 minutes or so earlier on Thursday afternoon as he was on a bye this week, and his team at 6-1 going to make the trek down to San Antonio to take on the Roadrunners of UTSA. So really, really cool to listen to him and his team and how they've evolved, and basically saying that, his team has not played the very best football they're capable of. Really interesting conversation. And of course, we touched base on his roots here in Huntsville. His family lives here still to this day. And of course, you can't get out of the way of it. It just is what it is. College football head coaching rumors around, and media members like myself and everyone else around where said coach is going to go, this, that, and the third. And he did touch base on that too. Just a really interesting, really cool talk. I'm really happy that he had enough time to do it with me earlier. So you'll hear from him momentarily. We're going to just run down really quick just some of the games to look out for and watch this week, especially in the Southeastern Conference. I know Alabama and Auburn fans excited about another week of football. I mean, that may be a fluid if you're an Auburn fan as they try to notch their very first Southeastern Conference win against Arkansas on the road in Fayetteville on Saturday. Alabama will play their first non-ranked game in over a month as they travel to Columbia, South Carolina to take on a very dangerous Gamecocks team with as I like to call, a racer of a player at quarterback and the dynamic player Lenoris Sellers for sure. But I did want to throw a big shout out to one of the best classics, one of the coolest things you can ever experience. If you're a college football fan, just a sports fan in general, obviously you have bucket list things to go to. And obviously there's a hierarchy of bucket list things that fans would love to attend, whether it's at the professional level, overseas, maybe a soccer match, or maybe something at the Men's College World Series, NBA Finals, the NFL, the Super Bowl there, a national championship, a game in Bryant-Denny, a game in the Southeastern Conference or beyond. But overall, one really cool event that happens within the Yellowhammer State in the month of October between 2 historically black colleges and universities is Alabama A&M and Alabama State battling for the Magic City Classic. This Saturday will be the 84th edition of that matchup. And man, yours truly will be down there. I missed it last year. Didn't have the opportunity to go down there last year. Obviously, we still covered it as a television station here at WAFF TV. But I will be down there with my teammate, Kaylee Tinglestad, and a camera crew there as we kind of take in all of the sights and sounds and the sweet smells of all of the barbecue and all that good stuff that I will be definitely partaking in for sure on Saturday, late morning, early afternoon before kickoff at 2:30. But yeah, it's an amazing atmosphere, an amazing scene. Basically around Legion Field, you got over a couple 100,000 people in a 3 to 5 mile perimeter that are just basically having a party, a family reunion, get together with alums from across the state and those that are all across the United States, convening in Birmingham for a full week of amazing fellowship. And then, of course, the big football game on Saturday, and, of course, the band at halftime. It's just truly awesome. And I urge anyone that loves football and loves pageantry and atmosphere, attend this game one time in your life. It truly is a special moment and a special atmosphere there. And of course, Alabama A&M aiming to snap a 3-game losing streak to the Hornets of Alabama State as Sam Shade, former Alabama standout and NFL vet, will take on another fellow NFL vet and Eddie Robinson, and former Alabama State standout in his own right at his alma mater as well. So yeah, man, I'm super excited about that. Super pumped to go to that. I will have an opportunity to go back Saturday night and Sunday and Monday. There's not enough hours in the day. I'm a sicko in college football, so I love it all. And I try to watch, obviously, not only the Southeastern Conference, but nationally. And, an affinity and a rooting interest for that team in South Bend. They're off this week, and will bounce back in action against Boston College in 2 weeks. But I will try to catch up on everything. So obviously won't have the opportunity to watch the Auburn-Arkansas game in real time. And the same goes for Alabama and South Carolina. But did just want to touch base on both of those games. Obviously looking back with Auburn last week, I mean, listen, I think we're at the point now where we say to ourselves, okay, the Jackson Arnold experience has been fleeting at best, and I'm being kind. I've had the opportunity, and our team had the opportunity to interview Jackson a week or during the SEC meetings or SEC media days, rather, during the summer in Atlanta. And a nice young man, said all the right things, but let's just be real. I mean, it's just there's been things left to be desired there at that position. We've heard it for how many times have you've heard it if you're an Auburn fan or just fans of college football watching from afar, wanting to ask Jackson to maybe turn it loose a little bit. I did not think he played terrible on Saturday against Missouri. I think, some things there did not help him with matters from a play calling standpoint on offense as well. But we've discussed it, and I think anyone that knows anything about college football way more than I will ever know from a schematic standpoint, X's and O's, understands that there's a lot of moving parts with that offense that leaves some things to be desired. Offensive line has not been great. Now you're going to be without Connor Lew, who was really solid for the Auburn Tigers at the center position. He's gone. You had to play a true freshman in that contest. You saw the high snap there late in the contest. He still did some good things there with all things considered, but the offense is just it needs some help, and playmakers abound, but when it comes down to your quarterback being able to, as we like to say, cut it loose and be able to take some chances, it's just not happening at this point of the season. As we know, Hugh Freeze has discussed ad nauseum about potential and the opportunity for a potential change at quarterback or a quote-unquote spark within the program. And Ashton Daniels may very well be just that. We can, I guess, safely assume that prior to their bye week, heading into their game with Georgia and, of course, the game with Missouri last week, that Ashton got a lot of reps. I believe he's gotten increasing amount of reps and now very, very close, if not going to just get the start that we don't know about once you hear the telecast come on Saturday that he is indeed the starter. But defense has been the defense. It's a two-way street. Everyone says the defense has been playing with their hair on fire. They've been playing well. They've left some things to be desired as well. But give DJ Durkin and his staff, relative to the whole complexity of the entire team, especially the offense, they play well. They've kept Auburn in the games enough to be able to be bailed out. And we discussed it, producer Pat and I discussed it last week. If you've played football, you played a team sport, or you've played the game of football at any level, at some point, if your offense is not carrying their water, the defense is going to feel some type of way and be upset. Yeah, we're a team, but you're going to be pissed off that they're not doing their job, and vice versa. If you're scoring and your defense can't stop a soul, that could be an issue as well. If you're on the special teams or you're a specialist and you're missing kicks, that's an issue as well. So we are coming to a Saturday that is vastly important for Hugh Freeze. And we can dance around this subject. We know how Auburn fans feel about Coach Freeze as is right now. And it would behoove Coach Freeze and Auburn and everyone to within the organization to do their best, which I believe they will. I'm not acting like they're going to quit or anything of that nature, but to find a way to come away with a victory on Saturday, because as we all know, the hot seat chatter will continue if W's are not put on the board sooner rather than later, meaning Saturday. If they can't score points against this Arkansas team that can't stop a soul, we have major problems. Listen, Arkansas has an eraser in its own right in Taylor Green. We know what he can do at the quarterback position. Very dynamic, to say the least. Bobby Petrino. They look competitive. They've been playing competitive in their last couple of games since he's took over for Sam Pittman. Listen, number 4 at running back can flat out go, folks. If you had an opportunity to watch them against Texas A&M last week, he can run the football. Washington is fantastic. But, the defense is, let's safe to say, can be had. And what better way to right the ship, whether that's Jackson Arnold or if it's going to be Ashton Daniels. what better way to do just that than to throw it to 8 and find some ways to get number 1 in space and 4 and a myriad of weapons, 15 or the tight end there, potentially be able to get involved as well. But more importantly, I think what better way and what better recipe to be able to accomplish what you want to as far as putting yourself in the red zone, getting opportunities to put points on the board, i.e. touchdowns, than to hand it over to Jeremiah Cobb. Had over 100 yards last week, really kind of steadied the ship and really did some nice things for running the football. So I would hope and expect that Auburn and would try to rely on the running game a little bit and kind of set up a lot of other things there as far as manufacturing offense through the air. And, of course, taking your shots there when you have dynamic playmakers and big-time guys, big-time players like 8 and Coleman and dynamic playmaker in space and 1 in Eric Singleton. So we shall see. I'll be real, I don't have the courage of my convictions to pick Auburn this week, much like I did last week and thought they would come away with a win. I'm going to go with Arkansas until Auburn on the field with proof of concept, as I like to say, finds a way to show everyone that they're capable of winning an SEC game. And, of course, if Arkansas comes away with a win, the hot seat chatter will only intensify, as we all know. Switching gears to Alabama really quick. The Crimson Tide, man, what a gauntlet, right? Best resume in college football, in my humble opinion. You're beating 4 ranked teams in a row. All 4 teams still in the mix for the college football playoff. You do just that, getting wins over all of them. And now you're going to take on the South Carolina team. Everyone looks at the Gamecocks unranked, but you got a guy in Lenore Sellers that can do a myriad of things. And all it takes is one day, one 4-quarter contest or beyond, and things look different for Alabama. I like games like this when a team is continuing to trend upward to see where their championship medal is. And we don't know what Alabama can or can't do as far as getting into the playoff and what they can accomplish. But it's safe to say they are a favorite to make a deep run in the college football playoff and more than capable of winning the national championship. Media members alike pick them to do just that in the preseason. And they've not done anything outside game 1 to warrant the fact that they have as good a chance as anyone to beat anyone in the field if they can get in. But this is where you learn a lot about your team, the maturity of your team, the chemistry and the mental makeup of your team, the experience of your team from playing said gauntlet and kind of handling your business and finding a way to get out of Columbia, South Carolina on Saturday unscathed with a W. So to me, more than anything, and I know X's and O's matter, you have to be able to scheme and scheme your way to winning a game. But to me, Kalen DeBoer has pushed all of the right buttons with himself and with his team and relied on some of the veterans within that program to do the same. So I am very, very intrigued with this game just to see where Alabama and how they come out and play. Do they hang around and allow South Carolina to stay in the game, make some plays? Are they able to have a little bit of veteran maturity about themselves from relative to what they've done this football season thus far to come away with a win? So going to be another, I think it's going to be a competitive game early on, but I think that Alabama shows kind of their class and their mettle being, if not the best SEC team within the league at this moment, one of. So we shall see how that shakes out in Columbia, South Carolina, coming up on Saturday. Other games within the Southeastern Conference, really good one down in Oklahoma. Oklahoma taking on Ole Miss. I'm still waiting for Oklahoma's offense to kind of pick things up. Now, I understand that John Mateer obviously came back during the Red River rivalry, off of a hand injury and found a way to get a win last week as well. But I want to continue to see the evolution of, not even the evolution, but the playmaking ability from their wideouts, Centegna and guys, 4. I just want to kind of see them how they continue to grow. I don't know. We know what the defense is, right? I think it's safe to say that they arguably have one of the better defenses in the country, and definitely one of the, for sure, to me personally, the best defensive line in all of college football. Now, Miami may have the 2 best defensive ends, But you look at Zero, Stone, and Jackson, and the way that R. Thomas can get around the edge, and Kip Lewis there and the linebacker, like, they can do a lot of really good things. So I'm interested to see how they respond. They get a win 26-7 last week. Mateer threw for $150, a touchdown, and of course the defense just doing Oklahoma Sooner defensive line things, sacking Lenore Sellers 6 times as well. So want to continue to see that offense continue to show that if needed, along with John Mateer, because John Mateer kind of maybe covers up for a lot of inefficiencies as far as the rest of the offense. But hey, if you got that guy back and he's slowly getting himself back into form, would not be surprised he has a monster day this Saturday for sure against Ole Miss. You look across the rest of the league, man, I mean, there's some really good ones. You got Vanderbilt hosting Missouri. All Clark Lee and company's done is just jump out to a 6-1 record. Favored again against an SEC opponent after beating LSU last week and hosting Eli Drinkwitz and company in Missouri. Really fascinated with this game as well. Once again, Vanderbilt can get after you up front offensively with the offensive line. We know what Diego Pavia is. Running game is fantastic. Sowers and the other tight end have done a really good job. I just love that Vanderbilt plays within themselves, has enough personnel to be able to carry out what they want to accomplish, and they limit the other team's possessions. I believe LSU only had 8 possessions last week in that loss. And when you only have 8, that means you're really forcing the issue to try to score points. And you miss out on 4 of those 8, you got problems. And Vanderbilt capitalized on that and was able to manage the clock, time of possession, the whole 9, kind of their recipe for success under Coach Tim Beck calling the plays, and Coach Clark Lee and the entire coaching staff just doing really good things there in Vanderbilt as well. So very intrigued with that game as well. LSU and Texas A&M. Listen, I understand that LSU lost last week. I understand their offensive line is an absolute mess. And I'm not convinced, I'm not sure that quarterback for LSU is fully healthy in Garrett Nussmeier. But it also doesn't hurt when you don't have time to throw. You're not the most mobile quarterback as far as being able to manipulate the pocket if it's not clean. So, yes, not the best situation when you're trying to deal with the front like Texas A&M with what they can bring to the table and forcing some serious pressure without bringing the rest of the defense there with just 4 down linemen. But, I will say this. Here's the flip side of that. I think that Marcel Reed, a quarterback for Texas A&M, he's improved. But the one thing that I've just noticed throughout his entire since he's been the starter for this year as well, you go look at the Notre Dame game and you look at some of these games that he's played thus far, even last week. I feel like he misses a lot of gimme plays, gimme completions, whether that is mid-level, underneath, or some of your kind of quote unquote shot plays. And when I mean shot plays, shot plays are to me from a viewer standpoint. It's one thing to say shot play. You shot play, you're running a 9, you're a deep play, deep ball, deep post corner or something like that. But a lot of the to me, some of the routes that they run with Colin Klein and company that kind of maybe get to the middle of the field or concepts there on one boundary or field side to another are kind of those that I wish that he would connect on more. If that makes any sense for any Aggies fans, I just feel like he misses on some gimme throws that could really take this team to another level on top of their record at 7-0 right now. So could he, capitalize on some of those starting Saturday? Sure. We just want to, I think college football fans want to see that. I kind of think maybe that's one of, if you think about it and look at kind of some of the things of them being a complete team, man, you would kind of like for him to kind of hit some of those. And I know that, the coaching staff wants him to stay within the pocket and be a quarterback first, but man, if you're going to be in there, you just would like him to see him hit some of those, like I say, the kind of the gimme plays there at his disposal. So, man, I'll tell you, listen, do not be surprised, college football world, North Alabama, if LSU doesn't find a way to win this game, A&M's only a 2.5 point favorite, 2 in the hook, so that tells you all you need to know there. Total points over is 49.5. But listen, I don't think anyone should be surprised if LSU comes out and wins this game. We know what they got up front, their defensive line. They got a corner, folks, that doggy could be as good as anyone in college football. If you had an opportunity to watch that young man, he's something. He can he can play, and listen. I don't think LSU's issues are solely on the defense, if that makes any sense. We know 40 weeks is not going to play, obviously dealing with that ankle, lower leg injury there. But, man, if we can just, find a way to see maybe LSU just hold up somehow with their front five, man, I mean, that would be ideal. But I just would not be surprised. I actually, this sounds wild and it goes against every sense of logic relative to teams coming in this, but I like LSU to win this game, to be quite honest. Be great if we could see the running game be utilized, but I guess if your offensive line is struggling at best, I guess that's hard to do. But I mean, just even attempting to run it with some of those talented backs that they have there in Durham and Harlenberry and then of course the offense and stuff. And of course, I love Anderson at wide out. If he was 6'2", I think we would have a whole different conversation with him. We know Barryon Brown, the Kentucky transfer, is straight gas out of the perimeter as well. And of course, you have an oversized wide receiver playing tight end, moonlighting as a tight end in Trades that can do some things as well. So I'll go with a slight edge over LSU. I like LSU to give Texas A&M their first loss, but it will tell me a lot about, once again, relative to Alabama, the maturity of Texas A&M if they find a way to go into Death Valley and get that victory on Saturday evening as well. Just a quick look nationally, games of interest within the top 25, just to kind of gloss over. Listen, Indiana's been playing exceptionally well, but hey, UCLA has played well. With Skipper as their coach, but of course, the young Neuheisel calling plays. That's been really cool to see with him. So we shall see if Nico and they can kind of scheme some things up. But man, Indiana's so good. They're, we all know after 7 games, it's safe to say we know that they're much better than their playoff appearance team a year ago. So that's interesting. Syracuse is going to travel to the Rambling Wreck of Georgia Tech in downtown Atlanta on Saturday. Georgia Tech playing solid football under Coach Brent Key, undefeated on the year. Interesting game. I know G-Tech is up favored by 16.5. Interesting to see what Fran Brown and his staff kind of drum up there to kind of keep this thing close heading into the fourth quarter. South Florida, Memphis. South Florida, 6.5 point favorite on the road in the Liberty Bowl in Memphis on Saturday. Two teams that have huge aspirations of maybe becoming a playoff berth team in the group of 5 there. That'll be an interesting game. That's an 11 a.m. kick on ESPN2 there. A lot of people are picking Iowa State to win in Ames, 2.5 point favorite over undefeated and the Fighting Kalani Sitake's and BYU at 7-0. I'm still going to lean with BYU. Listen, that young kid, Bear Bogmeyer, if you haven't had an opportunity to watch them late at night within the Big 12, continues just to do some really good things there as a youngster. We know what Rocco Becht and company can do on offense, keeping them into the game as well. But man, Bogmeyer's play well, just been solid there. I like the guy Martin, the running back, as well, kind of leading the way, rushing the football. But man, listen, we know Kalani and company, they're going to be tough, they're going to be physical, and you're going to have to bring your lunch belt. Now, listen, I think Matt Campbell and his group do the same, but I'm going to still lean with BYU. I think BYU comes away with the victory there as well. Other games of note within the Southeastern Conference, the top 25, Miami back in action against Stanford. I think if you are, that's a blip in the road against a really good Louisville team. I think that you handle your business against Stanford. You're favored by 30.5. I mean, that's one of those that name your score. I don't think that Stanford is going to surprise Mario Cristobal and his staff, especially after the Cardinal taking care of what is turned into an absolute nosedive in the Florida State Seminoles. There's nothing needs really more to say about that whole situation. That's not ideal as we head into the second half of the year. Michigan State and Michigan going to play. Michigan 25th in the country this week. 14.5 favorite there on the road at Michigan State. A really intriguing game here. Arizona State in Tempe will host Houston. And, man, that's a game I'm excited to watch tomorrow night when I come back from the Magic City Classic, or Saturday night when I come back from the Magic City Classic. That'll be super, super fun as well there. We shall see. I'm assuming, Sam will play for the Fighting Sun Devils there. I just threw the Fighting Sun Devils because it sounded cool. But I think Sam Levitt should, be fine relative to last week. Big question is Jordan Tyson and what he'll be able to provide if he's going to be able to play in that contest. But, man, give credit to Houston, man. Listen, what else is there to say? I know we talk about a lot of these coaches in the coaching carousel, and we will talk with some national writers that kind of follow that in the coming weeks as jobs continue to open and jobs get filled as we head into the last month of the regular season. But, Willie Fritz, man. Everywhere that guy goes, he wins, dude. And he's got their group at 6-1. Their only loss is the Texas Tech team that is still in the thick of things, much like Houston, to find a way to be in the playoff hunt, the 12-team playoff. So what a job that Willie has done. And everywhere he's been, he's done it. 65 years young and just as energetic as ever, man. Really cool to watch, and kind of revitalizing Connor Wegman's career there after leaving Texas A&M. And they just got some really good players, and Connor's been really solid there at that position as well. So I think there's going to be a back-and-forth game, interesting game. I don't have a kind of a read on it one way or another, but should be a fun game. Should be just a really good week of college football. We don't have as many quote-unquote marquee big-time games outside of maybe 3 to 5 of those, ranked versus ranked rather. But I just think that, you'll find out a lot more about those teams that are contenders, that we believe are contenders, as we head into the month of November and preparing to watch these first college football playoff rankings be unveiled as well. So, listen, it's college football. We're excited to watch it. Super, super thrilled to see these games. But, man, you're going to learn a lot more about those contenders, those top 15, top 16 teams that have a chance to make the college football playoff and the way they handle their business on Saturday heading into this week. So super, super excited about college football. We hope that you all enjoy all of those games. I'll be finding a fried catfish plate while a lot of these games are played during late morning, early afternoon down at the Magic City Class. I'm gonna get my belly full for show. Listen, we're going to switch gears and get you prepared for a really cool conversation with Jon Sumrall. And as I mentioned, the Tulane Green Wave 6-1 on the year. Really playing exceptional football and had a heck of an ending last week before their bye week with a come-from-behind win over Army. Just a game Army hard team to prepare for, rather, Jeff Monken's group there. But, we talked about a lot of things in our 15-minute sit-down. His team, standouts on each side of the football. Of course, how hard it is to prepare for like an Army team relative to his players. His roots here in North Alabama and Huntsville. And, of course, you can't get around it. You have to ask it. Just his thoughts on these rumors and how to kind of stay distraction-free as he tends to his current program, the Tulane Green Wave. So without further ado, we will turn our attention to a really good one-on-one conversation with none other than the head coach of the Tulane Green Wave, Jon Sumrall. Well, I just couldn't be more happy to kind of be with a guy that I've known a long time and just kind of watched him grow as a coach and a Huntsville native. But pleased to welcome in none other than the Green Wave Tulane head football coach, Jon Sumrall. Jon, first of all, man, thanks for taking some time out of a busy week. I know you're on a bye, but getting ready to head to San Antonio to take on UTSA. It's a lot going on, but Man, what a game last week at home. I know the ending was dramatic, but for you and this staff and this team, walk us through just what this ride has been like, kind of culminating thus far with your sixth win of the year against Army.
Yeah, it's been exciting. This team has made their decision that they're going to make every game as interesting and down to the wire as possible, I think. Our first game was probably our most convincing win, 23-3 versus Northwestern, which now looks like a better win than probably it did at the time. Ever since then, other than a convincing loss to Ole Miss, every other game I feel like it's been like a one-score game or a tight game all the way across the board. We've got 60 new players on our roster out of 116 guys, so it's a very different team. We've got a whopping 5 returning starters from last year's team, and so a very unique group that I really like the talent. We still haven't played our best. It's quite like I got asked earlier today, grade your team's performance up to this point. And I'm like, well, I'd give it a C+. And they're like, a C+? I'm like, yeah, we're passing. Like, we're winning each week for the most part. We're not excelling yet. Like, we're playing good football and finding ways to win at times, but we're not playing complete football for the entirety of a game. And so, man, great teams find a way to win no matter what. But championship teams have to start clicking a little bit better than we're clicking, and we got to make some things happen from an improvement standpoint to be our best, because we're going to need that down the stretch.
Coach, the one thing that I think just a casual football fan or a sicko like myself that watches everything, you think about the service academies and you think about kind of when we were growing up, the Armies and Navies, Air Force, it was kind of one thing that they did well, right? You're running the football, it's chopping you down and whole nine. It was really interesting to watch Army and their evolution under an amazing coach there, to kind of watch and kind of, it's a lot to try to account for. Walk us through how difficult it was with this opponent relative to the rest of your kind of, as we like to say, traditional opponents with so many variations of things they do offensively and the looks they give you.
Yeah, it's unique for sure. You don't see it very often. I've been a head coach for 4 years now. We've played Army every year. I would be okay if I never played them again. We're 3-1 against them, but every game you just feel like it's going to be a rock fight. It's hard. It's challenging. Even the 3 that we've won, none of them have been easy. They're always gritty and tough wins. Coach Munkin does a great job. He's a dear friend of mine. He's somebody I've gotten close to in the profession, have a ton of respect for him as a football coach and as a man. And what, from a coaching perspective, we all we do is watch ball and tape and prepare and scheme, right? Like, we do that all the time. It's not as challenging for our staff. Where it's challenging is your players. Like, coach, it doesn't matter what we know, it's what our players know that matters. And so our players being capable of maybe flipping their vision lines in the second and third level of the defense to understand, okay, the under center triple option, or maybe the under center run game they present. And then the pass concepts they come off of, that scares me as much as anything. They're a team that runs the ball 85% of the time, but about half of their explosive plays are throws. And so they kind of lull you to sleep, and they run like a scissors vertical concept off of something, and you're like, somebody gets lost. And so it's a challenge. Everybody has to do their job. Everybody has to be disciplined and detailed. The biggest part of it, too, for us has been over the years making sure, all right, first contact happens on a run play. Now it's all 11 hats to the ball to knock the ball carrier back, because they get a lot of leaky yardage where first contact may happen at 2 or 3 yards, but the guy gains 5 or 6. And then for them, 3rd and 1 is 2nd and 1. That like they're going for on 4th down from their -30. They don't care if it's 4th and 1. And so you've got to win on early downs to try to get them behind the chains. And then it gets those teams, if you can create a 3 and out or get a 4th down stop, that's like a turnover. That's like forcing a fumble, because they're used to controlling the flow of the game, milking the clock, and kind of playing on schedule, if you will.
I know it's very easy for us to kind of look at the quarterback position, and Jake's been awesome. But man, you've got a lot of guys doing a lot of really cool things on both sides of the football. 23-0 been outstanding. You have some moments with 78 there at right. Man, they've been great. And then 29-4 and everybody. You just got to be really excited about, just as you've not played your best yet, the evolution and the growth of those guys on both sides of the football, and kind of really with Jake, everything around him that's continued to continue to develop, right?
Yeah, what's been cool is different guys have stepped up at different moments. 2 weeks ago against East Carolina, we won 26-19 on a Thursday night TV game. We had 12 different pass catchers in the game. But that's the most in college football by a single team in one game all year. And so there's a lot of guys involved offensively, and that's neat to see. There's a lot of guys involved defensively too, making plays. There's clearly maybe guys that are the guys that step up and make the most plays. Like on defense, you mentioned 29 Santana Hopper. Everybody we play, they're like, whoa, that dude's a problem. Like he is. He's a really good football player, and he's disruptive and creates havoc plays. There's other great players on our front, though. They're making great plays. And so I don't know, like at receiver, too, what I'd tell you is we maybe don't have one guy like we had last year in Mario Williams where you're going to throw him the ball 10 times a game. But we got a lot of guys that could become the leading receiver any given game, depending on the flow of the game and their opportunities. And so I like the fact that I think we've got a deep team. Going into the year, Maurice Turner was our clear number one back. He got hurt in game one and was out for the next 4 weeks. And so he's back now. But in his absence, Javen Gordon, true freshman running back, is really elevated and kind of ascended. What I like about this team is I think we got a lot of guys that are capable of stepping up when their number's needed or numbers called.
Man, UTSA, man, that's a tough place to play. We know what Jeff does down there, man. He's awesome. Just initial for those that may have not had an opportunity to watch them, what they do well, things that kind of pose difficulties and problems with a coach that, really kind of brings a lot to the table with that program.
Yeah, Jeff's done a great job. They won a lot of football games there. We're playing them at UTSA, which their home record has been off the charts good. They don't lose much there in the Alamo Dome. The first thing that sticks out when you watch the tape, man, they are very talented. Like watching the film and seeing other teams on tape in our league, they could easily be the number one team in our league off of ability. They got a lot of dudes. The running backs, one of the top runners in the country right now. The quarterback, McCown kid, is probably the best returning quarterback off of last year's performance in our league of what he did in the year last year in 24 to 25. So he's really good. They got several good receivers. They're athletic as heck on defense. They got great length. Man, they present real challenges. We have to play really good football to have an opportunity to win.
Man, North Alabama, I know is near and dear for you. As I kind of go through all these games and get ready for tomorrow night, including your alma mater with the game tomorrow night, man. I know it's hard for you to kind of get back in the throes of running an organization and a program, but man, I know that you have just some fond memories of your hometown in North Alabama and being up here so much growing up, and of course doing your coaching career as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't be the guy I am without Huntsville. It shaped me, it molded me. So many people there helped pour into my life as a young person growing up, and going back to when I played park ball for the Eagles over at Fern Bell. Man, that was my football start of tackle football. It's where I fell in love with the game, to be quite honest with you. And all the way through Whitesburg Middle and Grissom High. And man, I have so many still to this day dear friends that are coaches up there, and so many people that away from the game of football have helped me become the man I am. And man, that place gave me more than I could ever have asked or thought a hometown would. I get texts and calls and everything from people all the time there. Probably don't respond nearly as quickly as I should sometimes, because my phone, some days I put it down, I look up and it's like, how did I get 200 text messages in a couple hours? But man, it's a special place. It's grown. That's what the times I'm able to get back, what blows me away is I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not the Huntsville I grew up in. It's like, it's a popping, booming place. And to see the growth there has been cool. But very, very grateful for the people there and what that place did for me.
I'll leave you with this one, man. Look, we're in this media business, man, and you don't have to focus on the main thing, keeping the main thing the main thing. we make a lullaby about what's going on in the landscape of college football with the coaching cycle and whatnot. I always ask this to all coaches, whether it's how many wins you got, how many losses you got, what's happening in the world of the landscape of college football. How do you and have you always able to, much like every other freaking coach in America, being able to kind of just keep the main thing, and worry about Tulane green wave of football in your organization?
Yeah, it's a great question. This summer, I talked to our team about no distractions, and that's for everybody in the organization. That could be for myself as the head coach, for the assistant coaches, or for the players. When you win as a coach, people talk about where you should go next. When you lose as a coach, they talk about how they can get you out of there, right? Players, when you play well, they talk about where you should go next. When you're not playing well, they try to figure out like what's going wrong with this guy, and people want to talk bad about you. And so I tell our guys all the time, man, like don't allow distractions to creep in. Like be where your feet are, be focused in the moment. Man, I love where I'm at. I love what I do. I love who I get to do it with. I feel very blessed and fortunate to be at such an awesome school in a great city, at a place my family loves. And, the coaching landscape, it's inevitable. People always bring it up. Man, I think about it so little. Like, I honestly, just like I tell our players, everybody gets to the end of the year, players, coaches, everybody alike, and you may look up and go, all right, catch your breath. Like, where are we? Most of the time, and I've been asked this a lot, like, if I wanted to be a Power 4 head coach, I already would be, because I've turned down some of those opportunities. If the decision about taking a job was only about money, I wouldn't be the head coach at Tulane. Plenty of people have offered me more money than what Tulane pays me to be their head coach at other places. And so, man, I'm very content. I'm very fortunate. I'm very blessed to get to do what I do. I tell our players all the time, am I going to die coaching at Tulane or be the head coach here in 25 years? I can't tell you that. But I do know this, man. I love what I'm doing. I love where I'm doing it. I love who I'm doing it with.
Well, Coach, look, I truly appreciate you taking some time. I know it's busy, man. Taking a little time with me, man. You know how I feel about you. You're a hell of a coach. You're a hell of a man. That's the most important part. You're a hell of a man. But appreciate you taking some time with us, man. Look, get ready and good luck. Enjoy the rest of this bye week if you can, and get ready for UTSA. And good luck and best wishes down the road in the American.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Have a good one, Carl.
As upfront as you can get. That guy will cut no corners and tell the truth. Really happy that we were able to do that with Jon. I've been knowing him for a long time. Happy for him and his success, him and his family in Tulane. They're just doing some really cool things. Damn good football coach for sure. Listen, like, subscribe, take after take. We are available on all streaming platforms. Listen, just write us a comment. Give us a 5-star review. Like, subscribe, Apple iTunes, Spotify, or where any podcasts are available. We have this available on our 48 Sports Zone app. You can find this on our website as well. I will share the link on all my social media platforms as well tomorrow. And you can tune into us each and every week during the college football season. Listen, go enjoy the games, enjoy college football, enjoy the pro game on Sunday and Monday as well. And we will see you back here next week. Take after take. We'll see you here next week.